If you want women to become magnetically attracted to you, the most effortless way to do it is with frame control. Here are 21 frame control tactics that work so well they honestly feel like cheating. The frame of a social interaction is the underlying status dynamic. If a boss is speaking to his employee, the frame is that he gets to tell her what to do. Now, if you've been friends with a girl for a year and never touched her once, the frame is that you're a beta cuck who's stuck in the friend zone and it would be weird to do anything sexual. Now, whether you admit it or not, you are creating frames with the women you interact with. Sadly, most men are creating the frame that I'll pay for her Uber and I'll carry her shoes home while she hooks up with another guy. Fortunately, with frame control, you can consistently set a man to woman frame where sex is basically assumed. These 21 scientifically validated techniques will ensure that you create a frame that builds sexual tension over time instead of killing it. 1. Act as if she is attracted to you. Now, one way I do this is by saying, "Why do you love me so much?" This implies that it's obvious she's attracted to you, which means you're taking control of the frame. She may deny it, but that's your opportunity to hold the frame. It's okay if you don't want to admit it. Then you move on like nothing happened. You're planting the seed that she's into, almost like planting an idea in the movie Inception. 2. Use intentional pauses. One of the biggest signs of low status is speaking in an uncontrolled manner. Rushing when you talk shows that you're not used to people paying attention when you speak, so you have to blurt words out as fast as possible to even be heard. When you use pauses, you draw people in and show that you believe what you say has value. 3. Take the lead in a pro-social way. In 1991, a scientific study by Batson et al. Found that you are more likely to get a yes to a request when you frame it as mutually beneficial. So, for example, if you want to move a girl somewhere, you might say, "Let's go somewhere where we can hear each other better," or "Let's go get some fresh air." 4. Speak with a breaking rapport tonality. Most men speak to women they're attracted to with a seeking rapport tonality, meaning their voices rise toward the end of sentences. That's my best interpretation. But this shows deference. It's like you're an employee speaking to their manager. This kills attraction because it shows you believe that you have low status. Instead, you want to speak with a breaking rapport tonality, meaning your voice lilts downward toward the end of sentences, kind of like this. 4. Speak with enthusiasm. If you sound bored with yourself, then women will get bored around you. Emotions spread between people because of a principle known as emotional contagion. Speaking with passion will draw women out of their shells and make them adapt to your energy level. 5. Strong eye contact. We've all heard that eye contact is attractive, but what most people haven't thought about is that you can make your eye contact more impactful by focusing your attention on the details of a woman's eyes, the color, the pupils, etc. There's a big difference between intimate eye contact and platonic eye contact. You can intensify this by actually thinking sexual thoughts while making eye contact, such as how attractive you think she is or that you want to kiss her. 6. Open with a positive assumption. If a girl looks at you, even for a second, start the conversation by saying, "If you're gonna look at me like that, you might as well just say hi." Now, even if she wasn't actually checking you out, just don't apologize, move on like it wasn't a big deal, and keep the conversation going, but that idea has been planted. The art of frame control is about holding the frame instead of apologizing, even when that frame is challenged. 7. Lightly touch her shoulder, the small of her back, and when moving from place to place, hold her hand to establish that this is not a platonic interaction. Now, I know this sounds obvious, but it's a mistake so many guys made, myself included, for many years. There is a slight chance of getting rejected if you are physical, but if you're not physical at all, it will increasingly set the frame that you are in the friend zone. 8. Create room for her to chase. When you kiss a girl, pull away before she wants you to. This makes it so that she wants more and builds sexual tension. Most men will keep making out as long as possible, which becomes stale and eventually even becomes needy. 9. Imply that she's the one who's pursuing you by saying, your pupils are really dilated right now. Now she'll say, they are? Yeah, it either means that you're on drugs or, and she will hopefully say, I'm not on drugs. Then you reply, or it means you're attracted to me. Now, this is creating the frame not that you're hitting on her, but that she's hitting on you. 10. Sexual misinterpretation. Misinterpret what she says to mean that she's hitting on you. For example, if she says, "Where do you live?" reply, "That's a very forward question, but I can give you the general area." 11. Leave her proactively. If you meet a girl at a bar and it's going well, but you know you won't be able to take her home until later, get her number and leave before she wants you to leave. This activates what's known as the Zeigarnik effect, which means we tend to obsess over something that feels unfinished, kind of like cliffhanger endings in TV shows. 11. Create a vacuum. Whenever there is a slight lull in the conversation, let the silence hang until the girl feels the need to fill it. This creates the impression that she's the one chasing you rather than the other way around. Now, don't do this until she's at least somewhat hooked. If you do it at the beginning of an interaction, it can backfire. 12. Use hot and cold. At first, get a girl's attention by being hot or basically very positive, very friendly. But then at some point, give her room to doubt whether you really like her by saying, "You're kind of like the sister I never had," or by withdrawing attention for a moment and focusing on her friend or your friend or something like that. This shows that you're not needy, you have options, and that she has to win you over to actually get you to like her, which is much more appealing than, "Oh, this guy would sleep with me no matter what I do or what I say. He has no standards." 13. Pass her tests. If she says, "You're too old, young, short," smirk and reply, "That's what my last girlfriend said right before we started dating." 14. Create competition. When you're with a girl, say, "Let's go make some friends," then introduce her to other girls in the area, and you now become the center of attention, and she will start to chase you, as will the other girls that are now competing over you. 15. Get at least 10 numbers per week, whether from cold approach or online dating. The more options you have, the less you'll act needy or nervous around women in general. If you spend too much time and effort on one girl, you'll push her away and carry yourself in a way that reeks of desperation. 16. Use compliance loops. Even if a girl thought you were extremely attractive, she'd probably reject you if you just walked up to her and said, "Do you want to have sex?" But if you get a yes to a small request, she's more likely to say yes to the next one. For example, you might start by saying, "Hey, let's move to the side. We're in people's way here," which is very easy to agree to. Later, you might take her to go sit somewhere with you, and then you can take her to dance with you. After all of that, then you can invite her home. Each yes builds momentum towards the next one. This is known as the foot in the door technique. 17. The freeze out. If a girl gives you attitude, turn away and talk to someone else in the group. This shows that you don't accept being treated poorly without appearing needy or aggressive. 18. Use the psychological principle of commitment and consistency. Start by asking something that a girl will most likely agree to, but that also benefits you, such as, "Are you adventurous?" Then, when she says yes, ask her to do something adventurous, like go to the next bar across the street with you. When we say we have a certain trait or belief, we are more likely to act in accordance with that trait, such as being adventurous afterward. 19. Seed the pull. If you want to take a girl home with you in the smoothest way possible, mention the idea in advance. For example, you might say, "Have you ever played foosball?" She'll most likely agree, and then you say, "Cool, I just got a new foosball table. We should play a game later." Now, this is very non-invasive, non-aggressive, and chances are she'll say, "Sure, why not?" Then, 20, 30 minutes later, you bring up the idea again, "Hey, let's go play that game of foosball we talked about earlier," and she's very likely to agree. 20. Use false choice closes. If you've been messaging a girl on a dating app, say, "Would you rather our first date be something adventurous or relaxed?" She will almost always answer one or the other, which basically has her already agreeing to the date. If she says adventurous, I'll take her on the high roller Ferris wheel, which is about a 10-minute walk from where I live. And if she says relax, I'll invite her to get a drink at a bar in the same area. This one is very powerful and easy to use. Now, if you want to get more tactical dating advice that actually gets results, click the link below to get a copy of my book, The Method, for 50% off until November 10.